All right, welcome back, everybody. Beginning SolidWorks, week 6. So sorry about the technological issues last week. Just let me know if you need more time. A lot of that was my fault. So hopefully this goes better. Hopefully you can hear me and you can also see the screen. So we're going to continue on with assemblies. I have an exercise here. This is today. And the exercise is a table. So it's a pretty simple, again, we're going to work with just simple parts and practice our assembly techniques. So very simple, just rectangles. They're 2x4s. The 2x4s are actually 1.5 by 3.5. So that's the size you want to make them. The table size is 72 by 30, and then the top overhangs that. So some people have been confused with that in the past. So hopefully that helps. You're going to make the frame 72 by 30. Pay attention to how it's assembled. So for instance, these front boards are actually 72 long, and these sideboards would then be 3 inches short of the 30 because you have 1.5 and 1.5 out here, right? So this thing is going to end up to be 27. They're just all square ends, so you don't have to 45 anything. That's kind of cool if you do, but don't do it because we're going to do a weight on this. And it's all pine, so you want to make sure you set that mass property material to pine. So, all right, so I've started it a little bit. I have made my 72-inch long 2x4, which is 1.5 by 3.5. And I've made one of these sides. So you only have to make one, and then you're just going to import or bring in those parts over and over and over, and then match them up and move them around. So the shelf itself has a lot of cutouts, so that'll be a little bit time consuming, and you'll have to figure out where those cutouts are. So this is just some good practice on bringing pieces together. In the end, you're going to give me a drawing. So you're going to create a drawing on B size. So this will be additional practice at creating drawings with dimensions. So maybe a front, top, side view would be good. It'll be in a drawing of the assembled table, and then just call out some important dimensions so somebody could actually build it. So that's our goal, is to create a drawing. All right. The top is a 75-inch pine. Sorry, 0.75, 3/4 of an inch pine. And use there a 2-inch overhang on the front and the two sides, but not the back. The back is flush because it would sit up against a table. So, all right, so that's enough. So that would make the top 76 inches by 32. So maybe I'll model that also. So you can see I have some parts going, and I name them by their size. I just think that's easiest. You can name them long board or whatever, but then I can use these parts in the future for other assemblies potentially. So this is the shorter 27-inch. I have also the longer 72-inch one, and I'll use that one to start my assembly. So get your parts modeled, and then come up and go to File, Make, Assembly from Part. So this is very much like we did with the link, right? Out here, you got to click. You can see it's chosen. Once you click, it places it. So that one's kind of locked in place. So then I'll go insert. Actually, I'll do my save. That is good practice to get your save done right away, because assembly 1 is just not going to work. So maybe I'll call it Donaldson week 6 table assembly. All right, save. This is actually going into a folder on my desktop. my desktop was acting weird, so it wouldn't let me create a folder. So I finally just gave up on that. Anyway, so then we're going to insert components. And again, if those components are open, they'll show up on the list. I want to insert the short one. So we'll bring that in. And once you bring it in, you can drag it around, but that's not the way to position it because it's just difficult to do that. And again, just keep track of like how it goes together. So this one fits inside of these two, right? So I'm going to mate it face to face first. I could do a number of different ways here. Maybe I'll show you a new way. Like I'll go edge, that edge to that edge. So that mates it up, and it actually looks, it looks like it does it. But remember, it's still got these other degrees of freedom that we don't want in this project, right? So then I'm going to mate this surface and that surface. So now it no longer will rotate. And then I'll mate the top surfaces. So I'm actually going to use 3 mates. 1, 2, and come on. I should zoom in, but 3. All right. So now that's in there. I can't move it. Clicking and dragging, not being able to move it. So, and just continue to check and make sure you're assembling it the same way. So that's, yep, that's how it goes together. This one then goes on the outside. So once you have a portion of it done, you can do copying and a bunch of other things. So that might be the way to go. You could actually play with the array once you get this top done to make the lower shelf, because it looks like the lower shelf is kind of the exact same thing. It's going to go around these legs, right? So this also goes around those legs. So the top shelf and the lower shelf, they're the same if I had one of these legs, right? All right, let's keep going a little bit. I'll do a little bit more. I'm going to insert again, this time the 72, bring it in and mate it up. So I'm going to go from here to here. Yep. And then the top mate again. Yep. And then maybe a surface mate, surface to surface. So bringing it in. Uh-oh, look what I did. I brought it together incorrectly, right? So that last one is just not the right one. So if I hit the check mark, all your mates are down here. I think we went over this before, and you can scroll over them. This one's good. This one's good. This one's not good. So I'll just click it and hit delete. It'll say, are you sure? And I'll say yes. So now what I want to mate is I want to mate this inside surface to this outside surface here. That'll scoot it out. All right, see what we get. Very good. All right, so that's good. Like I said before, there's move component here, but under move, there's rotate component. So if there's freedom to rotate, you could do that. Under linear pattern, there's a bunch of opportunities to do different things with components. So all of those are good. You can use any of those anytime. So practice with them. I'm just going to continue to insert. I'm going to bring the 27 in again and then mate it up. So maybe I'll go this surface out here with that surface right there. So that looks good, right? It lined it. Oh, nope. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's so easy to get confused. So just take your time. That one with that one. Well, that looks good. And then this top with this top. So I have my frame. My upper frame is done. So it's getting there, right? Now's a good time just to hit the save button to make sure you get all that saved. All right, so then, you just keep manufacturing. I'm going to show you a bit of a more complicated way to build within an assembly. So up to you if you want to use it. At some point, I'm going to encourage it because it is beneficial to work this way, but you don't have to. I could just go file, new part, and then do another part, make the leg. But I can also do that within SolidWorks. So inside of SolidWorks, you can actually pull down and say new part. Now, this is a little bit of a process, so you're going to want to pause this and make some notes. When I hit new part, it actually makes the part right there, part 3, but it also puts a green check mark on your mouse. See that right there? Green check mark on your mouse. So you got to click. That places that part. So now there's like a blank part file sitting there, okay? And it's right here. And I would rename it right away. That's clicking on it once to make it blue, and then click on it again, and you can give it a name. So it's going to be 2 by 4 by, how tall is the leg? And is 34 inches from the floor. So I'm going to say that's 34 inches to the top of this frame. So that's the other piece that you kind of need, 34 long. And actually this one I'd probably call leg, just to identify it a little better. And when you hit enter, it gives you that name right there. Now, it's still just sitting here. We're not editing it. It just placed it, okay? So to edit it, you have to click on it and then hit edit part. Now the assembly gets ghosted out, but I can use it still, and I can make my new part. So now I'm in part modeling, where sketch gives me my sketch tools, features gives me my feature tools, but they're slid over because there's some assembly buttons here in the beginning. So I am part modeling because it says edit component and the part is blue. See how it's blue? And I can open it up and it looks like normal part modeling. So I have to kind of switch in my head like, oh, I'm not assembling right now. I am part modeling when that's blue. All right. So I can go, I can go sketch, and I can make a sketch, and I can use the assembly. So I'm going to sketch in this top surface, right? So then I can go, okay, I'm just going to make our this is a top view. So sometimes it won't grab things. So maybe I'm going to get this spot. Maybe I'm not. So maybe I'll just come out here and make it away from 3.5. Whoa. Whoa. What happened? Whoa. That was weird. All right, there it is, 3.5. That was odd. I don't know what happened there. 1.5, right? And then I need to extrude it. I'm going to send it down. So I'm going to flip it over, and 34 inches. All right. Oh, 34 inches. All right. Boom. So there is a leg, right? I want it pine, so I'm going to go ahead and make that material change. Remember, steel is always open, so I close it. I'm going to go into the woods and choose pine and apply it. All right, so now there it is, my part, right? It's just a part. Let's get out of editing it because it's done. All right, so now I'm back into my assembly, and I'm no longer part modeling. It's no longer blue. I'm actually going to close it. It's just one of the parts in the assembly, right? If I try to move it, it's locked. It's actually called fixed, okay? So I can right-click on it, and I can float it. Now I can move it around, and I can mate it up. So that is part modeling within an assembly. So it's tricky. So it takes some practice. And you'll have to remember all the steps to make a new part within an assembly. So the key is I did not leave the assembly to make the leg. I made the leg within the assembly. So, and I used the assembly. You can use the assembly parts and pieces if you can grab them. It doesn't always want to grab them. Like I tried to grab this corner and it wouldn't let me right there. But that's all right. I just still made the part and then mated it up. Okay, now I hit save. So when you hit save, it sees that new part and it says, hey, do you want to like save this new part within the assembly? And I'm like, sure, absolutely. And you can save it internally, which means it'll be in the assembly, or you can save it externally. I like to save externally. It's going to go into that same folder because then I could use that part in other assemblies in the future if it's external. All right, that was a lot, but it is some simple objects. It's not a complicated table. It will take you a while though to make the parts and pull them all together and make the top and also make the shelf. So good luck. Let me know how it goes.